So you're thinking about a website redesign.
Yeah.
And the first question that probably pops into your head, the one that makes everyone a little nervous is, how long is this actually going to take?
Yeah.
It's not a simple answer, is it? You hear everything from, I don't know, a quick 6 to 8 weeks for something straightforward,
Right.
all the way up to 6 months, maybe even a year. For those really massive, complex platforms, that's a huge range, almost bewildering.
It absolutely is. And that wide variability is, well, that's exactly why we're taking this deep dive today.
Okay.
Our mission really is to cut through some of that confusion, unpack the critical factors, the key phases and the practical strategies that'll help you set realistic expectations.
And avoid those common pitfalls.
Exactly. And really understand the roadmap for your next project.
Okay, so when we talk about this massive timeline range, what are the levers? What really moves the needle? Let's talk first about website scope and complexity. I mean, a simple 10, 15-page informational site is just in a totally different league than, say, an enterprise platform with hundreds, maybe thousands of pages.
Oh, completely different. And then you add things like dynamic features, user portals, interactive tools.
Or e-commerce catalogs. Think about managing 50 products versus like 5,000.
Yeah, that's a monumental shift in time right there. And let's not forget integrations.
Right, connecting to CRMs, that's customer relationship management system.
Of course, yeah.
Or analytics platforms, payment gateways like Stripe. Each one is basically its own little project.
It really is. And what's fascinating here, too, is how much organizational readiness impacts the pace.
How so?
Well, having clear goals and, established brand guidelines up front is key, obviously. But the biggest bottleneck, almost universally, it's content readiness.
The content.
Yeah, this isn't just writing copy. It's like an internal mini project.
Oh.
Crafting all that website copy, product descriptions, getting photos done, that can easily take weeks.
You mentioned sources suggesting just the copywriting part could add, what, 3 to 4 weeks?
Exactly, 3 to 4 weeks, because
Yeah.
it often involves multiple departments, maybe legal review, creative back and forth. It adds up fast.
Wow.
And then there's stakeholder availability. Getting timely decisions and feedback, that's absolutely critical to keep things moving. Delays there can just derail a timeline completely.
Okay, so 3 to 4 weeks just for copywriting.
Yeah.
That really puts the content bottleneck into perspective. But let's say we do have the content, goals are clear. What's the actual roadmap? What are the key phases we should expect?
Good question. So the process usually breaks down into about 4 main phases. It kicks off with discovery and strategy.
Okay.
This is where you're really defining the site structure, mapping out user personas, nailing down the technical requirements, foundational stuff.
Sets the direction.
Totally. Then you move into the design phase. This goes from, basic structural wireframes, mapping out layout and user flow, to detailed visual mockups. Lots of feedback rounds here, usually.
Right.
After that, it's the development phase. Designs become actual working code. Front-end, back-end developers doing their thing.
Making it real.
Exactly. And finally, testing and launch. Making sure everything works perfectly across all sorts of devices and browsers, plus that crucial post-launch monitoring for any quick fixes.
Got it. And connecting this back, different website types must have different pain points, right?
Yes.
A small business site feels more straightforward.
Generally, yeah. But then think about an e-commerce website that needs really rigorous testing of product catalogs, payment gateways, shipping. Security and compliance are huge there, too.
And enterprise websites.
Yeah.
They sound like the most complex beast.
Oh, undoubtedly. You're often talking hundreds, sometimes thousands of pages, multiple internal stakeholders, extensive legal reviews, maybe even massive training needs for large teams managing the content. It's a whole different level.
So given all these moving parts, it feels like things can easily get bogged down.
Yeah.
What are the common pitfalls we really need to watch out for?
Yeah, our sources point to 3 big ones pretty consistently. First is scope creep.
Ah, yes, the uncontrolled feature additions.
Exactly. They just sort of appear mid-project. Second, those content bottlenecks we talked about, getting all that stuff ready, takes way longer than people think.
Underestimated time sink.
Definitely. And third, decision-making delays. Often because there isn't clear authority or feedback loops are just too slow.
So having clear decision makers and expected turnaround times is vital.
Absolutely critical. And here's maybe a counterintuitive tip. Overinvest time in that initial discovery and strategy phase. Skimping there almost guarantees bigger, more expensive delays later on. Fixing foundational mistakes in development costs way more.
That makes sense, trying to build on shaky ground. But okay, the good news is there are strategies to optimize things, right? To speed it up a bit.
Yes, definitely. You can use parallel work streams, so having design, development, and content prep happen, somewhat simultaneously.
Requires good coordination, though.
It does, but it can potentially cut your total project time by, say, up to 30%. Also, using agile methodologies with iterative sprints, those short, focused work cycles.
That's not just about speed, is it?
No, not just speed. It's really good for identifying risks early and being able to pivot quickly if requirements change mid-project. It can actually save more time and money in the long run compared to a rigid plan, especially when things inevitably shift.
Right, flexibility.
Ultimately, though, setting appropriate expectations is key. It's about balancing speed with quality. You really can't sacrifice one for the other without consequences.
And maybe building in a little cushion.
Oh, absolutely. Building in maybe a 15–20% buffer time is just smart planning for those inevitable, unexpected hiccups.
So we've seen that website redesign timelines really aren't one size fits all. They vary dramatically based on so many things: complexity, content, readiness.
Yeah, success really boils down to a clear understanding of your specific scope, how ready your content is, what integrations you need, and importantly, your own internal team's readiness.
Okay, so here's a final thought for you to chew on. A website redesign isn't just a project, it's a long-term investment in your digital future, right? It's not just about how fast it happens, but how well it ultimately serves your organization's goals and sets you up down the road. Knowing all these hidden complexities now, what will you prioritize for your next digital investment?